So I am back at Target, and today it's not to look at books, although I'm going to look at books. It's because my husband's not feeling well. But we're going to check out the book section, and there's a particular book that I want to check out, and I'm going to tell you about it when we get back there, because I think it's going to be the perfect cure for an Onyx storm hangover. The book we're picking up is called A Language of Dragons, and I actually looked at it last time I was here, and I was like, I don't know much about it. I'm going to ask around. And so I found somebody who read it. They gave it a 5-star review, and I reached out to him on Instagram. I was like, hey, you read this? What's it about? What's it like? And she described it as divine rivals with dragons. Now, if you haven't read this series, it's a duology, and I highly recommend that you check it out because it has gods and goddesses. It's a young adult book, so it is fade to black, but the romance between the two main characters is just absolutely fantastic. The world building is great. It's an easy read, but incredibly enjoyable. You become connected to the characters. And like I said, it's a duology, so it's only 2 books. However, there is a 3rd book that is coming out that is not related to our 2 main characters, but is about one of the goddesses that is mentioned in the book. And that book comes out September 5th of 2025. So you have a while to read this duology if you want to check that out. But Language of Dragons was described similar to that, and it was one of my favorite reads. I gave it 5 stars, so I wanted to check it out. And here they are. Here is Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. Now I want to show you the inside cover because this is one of my favorite parts. So this is Dear Roman, which is the main male character. And they communicate through magical typewriters, which is just super cute. And then Dear Iris, which is the main female character. So I love that the inside cover of this duology really matches the characters, and I don't know, it's something a little bit special behind the dust cover here. But here is A Language of Dragons. It is definitely similar to Fourth Wing, I think, in many ways. Fire starts with a single spark. It doesn't look like it's a super long book. Let's see how long it is. It's 424 pages, but it's not very tall, so let me find, like, compared to Divine Rivals, like, there's quite a bit less space here, so it's a shorter hardcover. And right now it is 20% off, so getting a little bit of a deal here. I love the cover on it. It's gorgeous with the gold and the dragons. So I will be doing a video with this shortly. I'll do the videos that I like to do where I read along with me, as well as a spoiler-free review, so you can decide if you want to read it or if you just want to hear my thoughts after I've read it. You can do the read along as well. This cart is a little bit wet, so we're just going to stick it on top of my purse. We don't want it to get wet. So this is interesting. I found 2 different covers for Games Untold by Jennifer Lee Barnes. This is part of the Inheritance Games series, and I've seen the gold cover, but I haven't seen this black cover. And when I opened it up, there's some differences here. So the end papers are the same, but this key is rose gold, and this key is actually gold, so you can see the difference here. I don't know if there's any other differences other than the color of the cover, but I did notice that, so that's interesting. If anybody knows which one's the exclusive edition or why there's different covers, let me know. So there are lots of copies of Onyx Storm, but none of them are a deluxe edition. They're all the standard edition, but they at least have them in stock now, in standard editions of the Fourth Wing paperback. I have not seen any Iron Flame, like the deluxe edition is sold out. We do have the deluxe edition of Four Ruined Realms, though. Super cool. Love this one. We have a couple more copies of Rebecca Yarros books than the last time we were here. The only thing that was here last time was Variation, but I don't see that anywhere here. We do have a better selection than we did last time that I was here. Oh, they actually have The Stars Are Dying. I saw The Night Defying there, but the special edition of that is still here. Also, Glow of the Everflame. I didn't see this last time I was here. This is the 2nd book in the series. It has beautiful end papers. It's part of the Kindred Curse saga. This is, like I said, book 2. Book 1 is Spark of the Everflame, but I am not seeing that anywhere. They do have all of the Crown of Nexia books, and they still have the Cursed in the Coven, but they don't have the Coven in the special edition, which is unfortunate. Oh, I just missed it. So here's Spark of the Everflame. So This is book one. I just picked up book 1 and 2, but I got them at Sam's Club for $17 and they're $20.99 here. So Sam's Club's definitely your better deal. They also have Games Gods Play. Let's see if that's the exclusive edition. It's not. So I have this one on my to-read list. This one is based in Greek mythology. I had a friend read it, and she said that there's just a lot of filler in this book, that they have trials in here, which are awesome and totally worth reading. But then there's a lot of dead space in the middle in between. So it was actually going to be higher up on my to-read list, and after I got her review, because we tend to like the same books, I was like, well, maybe I'm going to move this one down, because I do own it. I own the exclusive edition because I was really looking forward to reading it, but hearing that review kind of turned me off of reading it right away. It also looks like they have the entire Court of Thorns and Roses series, so book 1, 2, 3, the novella, so kind of 4, and then A Court of Silver Flames. But they don't have the box set. They do, however, have the box set of the Crescent City series, so those 3 books and the entire Throne of Glass series, but they're still $124 here. So I would recommend, if you want the box series, which I highly recommend, I think this might be wrong, because this says this is hardcover, and these are definitely the paperbacks. I watched Amazon, and you can use an app called Camel. It's actually a browser extension, and it'll tell you when the price reduces. So that is one way to go about it. Even if you don't choose to buy it on Amazon, you can do price matching like here at Target for the hardcovers if you can find them here. Yeah, so it looks like there is no Iron Flame, no deluxe edition of Onyx Storm. If you're still looking for a Target edition of Onyx Storm, I would say you're not out of luck yet. I have been seeing on Reddit and even on Instagram, some of the people I follow have been able to find copies, but they're just like here and there, and they're only bringing in a handful of copies to each store. So I looked around me, and I live 30 minutes away from the nearest Target, and the next Target from here is like 2 hours away. Because I'm in Missouri, there's not a whole lot here. And I found a couple hours away, they had like 1 to 3 books in those stores, but nothing near me. And you could not do online pickup, you couldn't do delivery, you could only go in stores to check those. And so you just have no idea whether or not that inventory is accurate. So if you still would like to get that Target exclusive edition, you still may be able to. The deluxe edition, if your Target doesn't have it, you can go to plenty of other places. I know our Barnes & Noble has a ton of them, and you're not out of luck there. Okay, I've got everything I need. Let's check the books up front. So we mostly have new releases. The Night is Defying. This is the second one that I mentioned earlier. 4 Room Dogs, which we already saw the last one. This one's been out for a while, but we still have the sprayed edge version here. There's a copy of Light Lark, The Half King. In the back, they didn't have the sprayed edge version, but it looks like up front they do. The latest book in the Crown of Nexia series, as well as the novel that is a companion novel that goes with it. We have Atomic Habits, that I think is still on the bestseller list for weeks and weeks and weeks. So there's also a lot of empty shelves here. So this is what we got up front. So one thing I did not share in store is what it looks like without the dust jacket. So there's not anything on the front or the back cover, but the spine here is really beautiful with the dual dragons. This book is also set in London in 1923, and I'm not always a huge fan of historical type fiction, but I really did love Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows that did have that historical fiction fantasy feel to it. Also, when I mentioned that I think this was going to be a quick read because of the size of the book, here's a comparison with Onyx Storm. So it's a lot thinner, a lot smaller, even though it's 400 and some pages, 424 I think is what I said earlier. But as you can see, there's a lot less words on these pages. So I think it won't take me super long to read this one. I'm currently reading another dragon book right now. I'm reading Scalebound. So once I finish Scalebound, this one will be next on my list. And let me know if you've checked this one out yet.